the forgotten woodland navigation technique that works without any equipment. Before we get into it, let me welcome you back to Warfield Prepper Chronicles. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe so you never miss the techniques and lost knowledge we bring back to life. Let's get straight into the method. The technique is simple. Reading tree growth patterns and environmental lean to determine direction without tools, landmarks, or the sun. This was relied upon by early European woodsmen, frontier scouts, and even medieval foragers who often navigated dense forests where the sky wasn't visible. The principle rests on biological consistency. Trees respond to sunlight, moisture, and dominant winds in predictable patterns, and once you know what to look for, the forest becomes a map. Learning to read sunlight pull on tree growth gives instant directional cues. In temperate forests, tree crowns tend to develop fuller and heavier toward the side that receives the most sunlight. In the northern hemisphere, that means growth pulls slightly toward the south. This doesn't need a clear sky or visible shadows. Even on an overcast day, you can examine the crown of a mature tree and see which side appears denser, broader, or more extended. When you observe 3 or more trees and they all show the same bias, you can confidently establish south. Scouts used this when traveling under thick canopies where even midday felt like twilight. In practical terms, if you're moving through deep woodland and your compass fails, step back, observe the upper canopy of several trees, and align your path according to the consistent lean of growth. Using bark patterns and moisture exposure provides secondary confirmation. Historically, woodland trackers doubled their certainty by analyzing bark texture. The northern side of a tree in the northern hemisphere generally retains more moisture, making the bark darker, and sometimes supporting more moss or lichen. The key is not relying on moss alone, because moss grows wherever moisture sits, including fallen logs. Instead, compare the darker, cooler side of several standing trees. If the rougher, drier side faces a consistent direction across multiple trunks, that indicates south. The cooler, moister side points north. Medieval charcoal burners used this method when marking routes between cutting sites, since their work often took place in the densest parts of the forest. Observing ground vegetation alignment, well, it offers short-range directional accuracy. Low vegetation also reacts to exposure, you see. In old woodland, understory plants lean towards sustained light, creating these subtle directional tilts. It's not dramatic, but when you stop and really study the foliage of shrubs or saplings, you'll notice that many of them angle slightly toward open light. Again, that's typically south. This becomes extremely useful when you don't have mature trees nearby. Frontier trappers use this trick when crossing regenerating clearings, following the consistent tilt of young growth to stay oriented without climbing a rise to check the sky. Putting the method into practice, well, it really does solidify accuracy over time. A practical exercise is to step into a wooded park or a small forest and pick out 5 trees spaced around you. Identify the fuller crown side, check the moisture-biased bark side, and then examine sapling lean. When all 3 align, confirm your findings with a compass. After doing this several times, your confidence grows and the forest's orientation becomes obvious. This is the exact skill that let historic woodsmen navigate confidently in conditions that would overwhelm most modern hikers. Thanks for reading, And if you found this useful, do subscribe to Warfield Prepper Chronicles and share this guide with someone who'd appreciate old knowledge kept alive.